think we're back. Where shall we start?
Her name is Alita. She's back and ready to conquer the open road. But little does she know, the van has other plans. No power, no electricity, just cloudy skies. Can she outlast the trials of van life? Let's find out.
Okay, we have a situation. Okay, the situation is bad. Yesterday we had really bad weather, so a lot of rain and a lot of cloud, not a lot of sunshine. But our solar panel, a little hero that she is, kept charging. So I didn't think much of it. I didn't use much electricity other than charge my phone and obviously to power Starlink, which then in the evening when I checked, the battery was in red, so it meant I had to deplug everything. And then there's new morning. The sky is super gray, it's raining. Although it's my editing day, so I'm supposed to be editing this video, I don't really need the Wi-Fi, but my laptop is at 50%. And I guess this is one of the things that I would have forgot to mention if this wasn't happening. Just how stressful it is not to have electricity, not to have enough power, not enough to have sunshine. Yeah. This is what gets to me the most, I think, because I have my day planned, and then if there's no sunshine, I have no electricity to power any of my gear, and obviously Starlink takes a lot more electricity than I'm used to it, so I don't calculate it, so it is my fault, but also it's the weather's fault. Anyway, go make myself a coffee so I'm in a better mood. Speak to you soon. There's something I really don't like about myself, and it's my hair. It's always frizzy, just always looks shit. So every morning I wake up, the first thing I have to do is to make my hair wet. To be honest, I haven't been given much hair, so I guess having waves or curls or whatever is visually, making me look like I have more hair than I do, which I guess I'm grateful for. Anyway, let me just do that very quickly and then we'll chat again. Do I hook up my mic? Because I feel like the sound must be clear, right? I bought it for a reason, and therefore I'll provide with a good sound. Incoming, bear with me. Testing. So the reason I'm recording this video is I wanted to share with you my realization, just how exhausted I was after 2 years of full-time living in a van. I'm gonna share with you a few things, I think 5 things, what I learned in those 2 years of van life and what made me question if this is for me. And I guess this is why some people quit or don't even start van life. So let's go. Are you coming or what? I think to really thrive in van life, you need to embrace the change and to realize that life will be chaotic. And there's no way around it. Whether you someone who will stay in one camping spot for a very long time, you will have your food ready, your gas ready, like you're not running out of anything because you're that organized. I think life will be chaotic regardless. And I'm going to share my example here. While I think we are organized, I'm inputting in the calendar the days we topped up the gas. We try not to run out of water. Things do break down. We had water pump breaking down, so even though we had water, we were not able to use it for 3 days. The clouds and no sunshine mean our solar panel won't charge. No matter how well organized you can be, there will be chaos. And this chaos can be more than most of us can handle. The next point I want to talk about is balancing this freedom of the road and stability. So if you're doing a van life or you're planning to do a van life, it's probably that's what you're chasing, the freedom, right? And it's great until you miss home base. And I think most of people I personally met on the road, they have a home base to come back to, whether it's their parents' home or, simply they live in the middle of Europe, so they can just drive back home whenever. So not having a home base is exhausting. Eventually you get tired of traveling and driving every other day or once a week. Sometimes you will just want to chill and rest. because your brain is on survival mode 24/7 when you're in a van. There is just so much to plan. Your stops, is it safe? Is it safe for dogs? Will there be a signal? Eventually, not having the home base to come back to for rest really gets to people, and it definitely got to me. So recognizing that feeling and being honest with myself and taking breaks when needed was a lifesaver, literally. But then we also met a lot of people who do half and a half. So they will be on the road for a couple of months, home base for a week or so, then back on the road. And I think this is the healthiest balance you can have. This is my ultimate goal, to have a home base somewhere in the middle of Europe so then I can come back to and rest, because this, while it's awesome, it's exhausting. My next point that I want to talk about is expenses. There is so much bad information online about how expensive the van life is. And truth to be told, it can be super expensive, but it can also be super cheap. It really depends on you and mainly on how much driving you're planning to do. For those who drive every single day, go pay for entrances to national parks, stays at campsites and paid campgrounds every night, take ferries to the islands. It is super expensive, and most van lifers will fall under one of those three categories. They either work remotely or work seasonal jobs like myself. Then they live off their savings, so they plan to go back to their home base after a year or so of traveling. And the last category, they are retired. And for all of us, all of these three categories, I think it's still cheaper to live in a van than rent a property. If you're sensible, if you don't drive every single day, you cook in, you will be saving money. I did a podcast episode about my expenses, so maybe I'll link it below so you can actually listen how much money I actually spend a month, but is half of what we used to spend when living in UK. Did I mention the emotional roller coaster? Yeah, this is what you witnessed me this morning without, electricity. My laptop battery is currently at 23%. So I am emotionally stressed because the clouds are not clearing up. I think I'm gonna have very unproductive day because of it. There is just things you cannot plan because of the weather. So the van life is good while the weather is good. Also living in tiny space with another person. So in my instance with my husband and our two dogs can be also challenging because I'm such an introvert and my husband is such an extrovert. We kind of have to find the healthy balance, what works for us. I try to wake up an hour early and do some reading time, so then it's me time. And then I go to bed an hour earlier, again, reading in the bed, so then it's me time again. So it's just finding these little tricks that work for you, so then your emotions don't explode. And just being honest with yourself and with each other. A lot of people romanticize this lifestyle because they see all these good aspects on social media, which is, let's be honest, it can be great. You can park in the most beautiful spots, but you can also park on the side of the road. But there is some reality that people need to realize. Emptying your toilet is not something a lot of people can do. There is a lot of things that you need to get over yourself and do it. And therefore, I heard a lot of things like showering once a week. I could never. Yes, this lifestyle is not for everyone. And my last point, but not the least important, is purpose. So many people, like myself, start a van life without really thinking ahead. We're like, we're just going to do it until we're tired of it. Or some people start for a year and they enjoy it so much, so they keep going. Sooner or later, you're going to hit the wall where you're like, oh my gosh, what is my purpose? For how much longer am I going to do? What's my plan? And I'm in the same station. I have no plan. Maybe I have dreams, but I don't have a plan. And this lack of purpose kind of gets to you. And that's where a lot of people stop. They either take a break, what we did, or just go back home for a bit, maybe stop van life altogether. I think it's good to have a plan or at least a dream, something to guide you. These are the things that I wanted to share with you, and I hope it has been helpful in some way or another. If you're a fellow van lifer, please message me. Let's chat. Do you agree with these points? Is there something I forgot to mention? If you're about to start van life, set your expectations right. And then for my next video, what would you like to know next? I can do a van tour. I never done this before. I can also share how we made an improvements on a van so our life on the road is easier. Or I can share what we find Starlink like, because we in Europe, do you really need to get a Starlink? Just drop a comment below. Let me know what would you like to see next, and I'll see you then. Thanks for sticking with. So my laptop died. I am on a walk in a light rain that I think is gonna turn into heavy rain shortly. So yeah, let's remember days like this when we romanticize our life. Please, somebody can send me some sun, like today.